I'm 95 years old. I survived my wife, my 3 children, my best friend Tommy, 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the Cold War, and every single person who sat at my dinner table. I'm sitting here in a small room with white walls, a bed that creaks, and a window that looks out to a parking lot with 3 cars. I'm at the edge now. I can feel death like cold steel against my neck. And before I go, I need to tell you something that might save you from the biggest mistake of your life. You're waiting. You're waiting for everything to be perfect before you start living. And that waiting is killing you right now, this very second. Let me be direct with you. You're living a lie. A beautiful, comfortable, deadly lie that's been sold to you since childhood. You tell yourself you'll be happy when you get the promotion, when you lose the weight, when you find the right person, when you have enough money in the bank, when your kids grow up and move out, when you retire and have free time. You've built an entire existence around a future that doesn't exist. It's a phantom, and I'm here to rip that illusion apart because I don't have time left to be polite about it. The perfect life you're waiting for is a mirage in the desert. It's a trick your frightened mind plays to keep you safe, to keep you from risking anything real right now. I see it everywhere I look. People walking around like ghosts in their own lives, postponing joy, delaying love, saving their best wine for a special occasion that never comes. They're waiting for permission that will never be granted by anyone. They're rehearsing for a show that was canceled before it began. They're polishing a trophy they'll never win. And the tragedy is not that they fail at achieving perfection. The tragedy is that they never even start living. They die with their music still inside them, waiting for the perfect moment to sing. That moment was yesterday. That moment was this morning when you woke up. That moment is right now, and you're missing it while you read these words. Let me tell you about Frank Morrison. This is important, so pay attention. It was 1973, springtime, April, I think. Frank was 42 years old. He worked at an accounting firm in Boston, 3rd floor corner office with a view of the harbor where sailboats drifted by every afternoon. He wore gray suits that smelled like dry cleaning. He drank his coffee black from a chipped blue mug. He smoked Marlboro Reds half a pack a day. Every morning, same routine, same tie, same briefcase, same nod to the receptionist whose name he never learned. Frank had a dream burning inside him. He wanted to build boats, not big boats. Small wooden sailboats with his own hands, the kind you could take out on a lake on Sunday mornings. He had drawings, 3 notebooks full of sketches and measurements and wood grain patterns. He kept them in his bottom desk drawer under the tax files. He talked about it at every dinner party, every company lunch, every Christmas gathering. His eyes would light up when he described the smell of cedar and varnish. But Frank was always waiting. He was waiting until he made partner at the firm. Then he'd wait until his son Tommy finished college at Yale. Then until he paid off the mortgage on the house in Cambridge. Then until he had $75,000 saved up. Always one more thing, one more milestone, one more box to check. The perfect moment was always just around the corner, like a horizon that moved every time he walked toward it. It was October 1994 when I saw Frank's obituary in the Boston Globe. Heart attack at his desk on a Thursday afternoon. 63 years old. He died surrounded by tax documents and client files and fluorescent lights. Not a single boat, not one piece of wood ever cut, not one nail ever hammered. His wife Catherine called me after the funeral. Her voice was hollow. She told me they found the notebooks in the basement during the estate sale. 21 years of drawings untouched, pages yellowed, gathering dust and mouse droppings. She cried on the phone. She said Frank talked about those boats until the very end. Even in the hospital once when he had that scare in 1989. He said next year would be the year. Next year never came. The tragedy wasn't that Frank died. We all die. That's the one certainty in this uncertain life. The tragedy was that Frank never started. He spent 21 years preparing for a life he never lived. 21 years of perfect excuses that sounded so reasonable. 21 years waiting for conditions that would never align just right. And what did he get for all that waiting? A corner office view and a manila folder full of regrets that nobody read. I think about Frank at least once a week. Even now. I think about all those boats that never touched water. All those sunsets he never saw from a deck he built with his own bleeding hands. Gone. All of it. Gone because it wasn't the perfect time yet. Now I'm looking at you through these words, and I see Frank Morrison staring back at me. I see you postponing the trip to Italy until you have more vacation days saved up. I see you keeping your love quiet until you're more successful and worthy. I see you waiting to start the business until the economy improves and the market stabilizes. I see you delaying the hard conversation with your father until the timing is better and he's in a good mood. I see you saving your nice clothes for special occasions while wearing rags and stained shirts every single day. I see you treating your life like a rough draft that you'll perfect later, like there's going to be a final version where everything is polished. You're rehearsing, always rehearsing, never performing, never living. You're waiting to be braver, smarter, richer, thinner, more prepared, more confident, more deserving. You're waiting for your children to need you less, so you have time for yourself. You're waiting for your parents to understand you better before you speak your truth. You're waiting for the market to stabilize before you invest in yourself. You're waiting for the weather to clear before you take the walk. You're waiting for the stars to align before you make the move. You tell yourself you're being responsible and mature. You tell yourself you're being realistic and smart. But what you're really doing is choosing fear over life. You're choosing the comfortable illusion of control over the messy reality of existence. And that choice is costing you everything that actually matters. Let me tell you what I've learned in 95 years about the things you think matter so much. Your career. That job you're sacrificing your health and family for. It's not your legacy. It's a transaction. A cold business deal. You trade hours of your life that you'll never ever get back for money to buy things you don't need to impress people who don't care about you. The company will replace you before your desk chair gets cold. I've seen it happen 100 times. Your position will be posted online before your obituary runs in the local paper. And all those late nights at the office, all those missed soccer games and dinners, all those moments you chose spreadsheets over life, they don't mean anything to anyone but you. And you'll remember them with bitterness and regret, not pride. Your boss won't remember your dedication. Your company won't build you a statue. That house you're killing yourself to fill with furniture and decorations from catalogs. That car that makes you feel important when you drive it. Those clothes hanging in your closet with tags still on them, waiting for the right occasion. It's all garbage from the future. I'm deadly serious about this. I used to have a big house, 4 bedrooms, walk-in closets, garage full of tools I bought and never used, basement full of boxes I never opened for 20 years. Now I live in one room that smells like disinfectant. Everything I owned, 90% of it, my kids hired a stranger named Miguel to throw in a dumpster behind the building. Your children will do the exact same thing. They'll keep a few photos and maybe one piece of furniture and sell the rest at a yard sale for pennies on the dollar. That expensive Rolex watch you're saving for. Future garbage. That vinyl record collection you're building so carefully. Future garbage heading to a thrift store. That antique desk you paid $3,000 for. Firewood. The stuff you're killing yourself to accumulate. Working 60-hour weeks and missing life. It will end up in a landfill with your name forgotten and your story erased. Nobody will care that you owned it. Nobody will remember what you sacrificed to get it. It means nothing. Less than nothing. And the opinions. God Almighty. The opinions that control your every move. You're so worried about what they think. What your neighbors think when they see your lawn. What your colleagues think in the meeting. What your high school friends think when they see your social media. What strangers on the internet think about your choices. Let me free you right now from this prison. Nobody is watching you the way you think they are. Nobody cares about your life the way you imagine. They're all too busy worrying about what you think of them to think about you. You're performing for an empty theater. You're the main character only inside your own anxious head. Everyone else is living their own story where you're barely a background extra who appears in 2 scenes. And their judgment, all that criticism and praise you're so desperately hungry for, it means nothing in the end. It'll rot in the ground with them when they die. Their opinions will be dust blown away by wind. Their approval will be forgotten by the next generation. And you wasted your entire precious life contorting yourself into shapes, building masks, hiding your truth, all to earn something that was always completely worthless. You traded your authentic self for the approval of people who forgot you the moment you left the room. Here's the truth that will set you free, if you let it. There's no later. There's no someday when everything will be perfect. There's no magical moment coming where everything aligns and life becomes easy and clear. This is it. Right now. This messy, imperfect, chaotic, beautiful moment you're living. This is your life. Not the polished version you're planning for 5 years from now. Not the edited highlight reel you show on social media. Not the fantasy in your head where you're thin and rich and confident. This. Right now. With all your flaws and fears and doubts and failures. This is what you get. This is all any of us ever get. And you're treating it like a waiting room for a future that doesn't exist. You're living in a permanent state of preparation for a show that was canceled before you bought the ticket. But here's what I know after 95 years walking this earth. Here's what I learned too late, after the funerals and the regrets piled up. The only things you take with you when you die are the things you gave away while you were alive. The love you shared without holding back. The time you spent with people who mattered to your heart. The moments you were fully present instead of planning the next thing on your list. I don't remember the promotions I got. I don't remember the bonuses that seemed so important. I don't remember the impressive titles or the awards gathering dust in a box somewhere. Those memories are blank spaces now. But I remember Sunday mornings with my wife Mary. I remember the sound of her laugh when she burned the pancakes and the smoke alarm went off. I remember how she'd throw flour at me and we'd end up making love on the kitchen floor. I remember teaching my daughter Helen to ride a bike when she was 7 years old on a summer evening. The way she looked back at me with those wide, terrified eyes, trusting me completely to catch her if she fell. The weight of that trust, the beauty of that moment. I can still feel it in my chest. I remember a Tuesday afternoon in June of 1967 when nothing special happened at all. I came home early from work because I had a headache. Mary was in the garden wearing her yellow dress. We sat on the back steps and drank lemonade from mason jars and didn't talk much. Just sat there watching the clouds move. That's what I remember now at the end. Not the big achievements. Not the major milestones that seemed so important. Just a Tuesday afternoon drinking lemonade with someone I loved more than my own life. That moment was worth more than every promotion I ever got. Worth more than the house, the car, the retirement account, the respect of colleagues. And I almost missed it because I was too busy working toward some imaginary perfect future that never arrived. So here's my challenge for you. 3 things. Listen carefully, because I don't have the energy to repeat myself, and my time is running out. Number 1. Do it scared. Whatever you're waiting to feel ready for, do it right now while you're terrified and shaking. Call the person you love and tell them the truth about your feelings. Book the trip to the place you've been dreaming about even though your bank account isn't perfect. Start the project even though you don't have all the skills yet, and you'll probably fail. Your fear is not a stop sign telling you to wait. It's a compass pointing directly toward what matters most in your life. Every single important thing I ever did, every moment I'm proud of now, I did while shaking and doubting myself. And you will too. Or you'll die safely, comfortably, having done nothing at all that mattered. Number 2. Practice last times. I mean this literally, and I need you to understand how serious I am. Every time you hug someone you love, pretend in your mind that it's the last time you'll ever touch them. Because one day it will be the last time, and you won't know it's the last time until it's too late and they're gone. Every meal with your parents who are getting older, every phone call with your friend who lives far away, every moment tucking your children into bed. Treat it like the final one, not in a sad, morbid way, in a present, grateful way, in a way that makes you squeeze a little tighter, listen a little closer, care a little more deeply. Stop saving your attention and presence for later when you have more time. There is no later. There's only this conversation, this meal, this hug, this ordinary moment that will become precious in your memory. Pay attention like it's the last one, because it might be. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Number 3, burn the someday list. All those things you're going to do someday when conditions are perfect. The letter you'll write to your father. The forgiveness you'll offer to your sister. The adventure you'll take to Alaska. The truth you'll speak to your boss. The art you'll create when you have time. Someday is a place you never arrive at. It's a comfortable lie that lets you avoid the terror of living right now. Take that list, real or mental, and set it on fire. Then do one thing from it today. Not perfectly. Not when you're ready and confident. Today. messy and scared and completely unprepared. Do it now while your hands are shaking. Because I'm 95 years old sitting in this room and I can tell you with absolute certainty that someday never comes. It's a mirage that disappears every single time you get close to it. Tomorrow you'll have another excuse. Next week you'll have another reason to wait. The perfect time will always be just out of reach. So do it now. Imperfect and afraid. Now. The clock is running out. For me, obviously. I can feel it in my bones, that ache. I can hear it in my breathing that's getting harder. But it's running out for you too. You just can't feel it yet because you're young and healthy. That's the cruelty of youth. You think you have time. You think there's always tomorrow to fix things. But tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is a maybe, a hope, a wish that might not come true when you wake up. Frank Morrison thought he had time. Every person who died with their music still inside them, with their truth unspoken, with their love unexpressed, they all thought they had time. They were all wrong. And you might be wrong too. You probably are. Can you hear it? If you're quiet enough, if you stop scrolling and reading and distracting yourself for just one moment, you can hear it. It's the sound of your life passing. Tick, tick, tick. Every second you wait is a second you'll never get back. Every moment you spend preparing instead of living is gone forever into the void. You're spending your life like it's infinite, like you can waste today because you'll make up for it tomorrow or next year. But life doesn't work that way. Today is all you have. This moment is all that's real. Everything else is memory or fantasy. The past is dead. The future doesn't exist. Only now. Only this. Stop waiting for permission from someone who will never give it. Stop waiting for perfection that will never arrive. Stop waiting for the right time, the right feeling, the right circumstances to align like planets. They're never coming. The perfect moment is a myth we tell ourselves to avoid the terror of actually living, of actually risking, of actually being seen. You're already enough. Right now. Exactly as you are. Flawed and scared and imperfect. You're enough. You always were. Start now. Messy, imperfect, scared, unprepared, broken. Start now. Love now without holding back. Forgive now without conditions. Create now without perfection. Live now without rehearsing. Not someday. Not when you're ready. Not when you lose 10 pounds or make $10,000. Now. Right now. Before it's too late. Before you're 95 years old in a small white room with regrets piled around you like garbage, looking back at a life you never actually lived because you were too busy waiting for it to begin. I'm tired now. My hands are shaking like leaves. My eyes are heavy with the weight of all these years. My breath is short. But I needed to tell you this before I go. I needed you to understand this one thing. The perfect life you're waiting for doesn't exist. It never did. It was a lie from the beginning. What exists is this moment. Imperfect, uncertain, beautiful, brief, sacred. This moment is your life. Not the edited version in your head. Not the future version where everything is fixed. This. Right now. This is it. Stop waiting. Let me free you. Go live. Go.